It's almost here. The end of an era. The 3DS's online servers are going down for good. We'll never be able to play 3DS games online again. Oh, I'll miss you most of all, Kirby Battle Royale. None of the other 3DS Kirbys even bothered to have online, but you dare to be different. You dare to take the extra step and edit a no-friend lobby for some reason. That's pretty dumb, actually. Online mode. You dare to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more Kirby speedrun content because you enjoy it, which would surely motivate the 49% of you who aren't subscribed to do so for free. Oh, how I'll miss you. Is what I'd say if I didn't know about how the speedrun for this game goes. Sure, multiplayer is fun, and I'll definitely miss having the ability to play it online. And yeah, I may or may not be streaming a farewell to online Battle Royale on April 6th, mere days before the service ends, shameless plug, but that doesn't mean there isn't fun to be had in the single player. For me personally, the Cake Royale any percent speedrun is the most interesting. Not that there's all that much to it, mind you. Abilities generally function on a similar level for most of these, so sticking with the default option is usually the best. What is the default option anyway?
Oh no!
Huh. Well, first time for everything. But as I'm sure you can tell by the title, Sword isn't the only good ability in this game. Around these here parts, there's another ability we like to use to get Kirby some cake. And it's Whip. Again, not much of a surprise, you saw the title. But what makes it good compared to other abilities? Sure, the story mode doesn't allow for DLC, meaning we were robbed of Sleep's full strength. But there are plenty of other abilities to pick from, so what makes Whip the exception? To understand that, we need to talk a bit more about why Sword is good to begin with. In the Cake Royale itself, you need to win a bunch of the available battle modes to progress. Obviously, this being a speedrun, you have an added caveat of needing to clear them quickly. You figure this would make things a little less strict. Of the 10 modes, 7 of them have a built-in time limit. There's no way to make them faster, but also no way to make them slower. In theory, this means you can use any ability you want for these, except Mirror and Sleep. Again, we were robbed, but by extension, it actually makes the competition far more intense. Having 10 battle modes to prove yourself in gives you a lot more opportunity than 3. The reason why Sword is good is not only because of the availability, it's the only ability you start with, and unlike, say, Super Kirby Clash, it does take some more time to unlock other options. You can learn more about Super Kirby Clash's any percent in this video here, but as far as Battle Royale is concerned, you may not be impressed after seeing it in the 3D tutorial area. The Forgotten Land of the Punch by over 4 years, by the way. But before long, you will see its true power in the battle arena. I don't want to make this video strictly about Sword. We are talking about the YEEHAW ability here. But a long story short of why Sword is so good is because its charged attack is really, really good. It's really fast, it deals about half damage to the opponent's health bars, literally a 2-hit KO, it's that good. And the icing on the cake is that the devs must have watched my videos and saw how sour I could be on Sword, except they were time travelers because in 2018 I wasn't making videos yet, because the CPUs do not try to avoid this. Speaking of modes that don't have a time limit, Sword is also really good for robo-bonkers, but you're probably wondering, since Hammer is in this game, well, why not use Hammer? Isn't Hammer the best boss killer ever? That is its own video, I suppose, but a nifty thing about the Cake Royale is that you have to unlock abilities. They're unlocked in a set order, so similar to something like Fire Emblem. I'm sorry, I love these games, okay? You have to factor in availability. And Hammer being one of the last abilities that you unlock means you don't get to use it for most of the chances that you get to fight Robo-Bonkers. Sword, on the other hand, you are never limited in your ability to use it. I make myself laugh, I guess that's really all that matters. That leaves one battle mode for Sword to excel at, and that one battle mode is Ore Express, Crazy Theater, and Flag Ball. Wait. The English in here, that was horrendous. Where do I even start? This is obviously where Whip comes in, but I can hear the angry Sword fans typing in the comments about how Sword is really powerful, and I was just giving it, I lied about the numbers at the start, all that. It also has the downside of availability. It's the 7th ability that you unlock, which basically means that Sword is roaming free until you get it. The obvious response to all of this is, yes, Sword is better, but Whip is still really good, but let's talk about why. Now, Ore Express is a bit of an interesting case here. Unlike the other modes, this one is an auto-scroller. As is to say, you're not running around on a static battlefield, and the ores that you need to collect to win appear on the screen as the auto scrolls. To save time on the scoreboard rally, as well as for consistency, it's best to grab as many ores as possible and just hoard them until the end. On paper, any ability can do this, but Whip is used more than any other ability for a couple of small but nifty reasons. Notably, it's easy to get a good start with Whip because the command grab actually grabs regular objects like the ores. It's a small thing, but being able to grab that first ore and knock out opponents from there makes this task way easier. On top of that, during the third phase where you actually need to throw away the ore and ensure the CPUs don't win, Whip's charge attack is much better than Sword for this, mostly due to its length. It lasts a while. With all of that said, this is still a timed event, so as nice as these perks are, you can get away with using whatever ability you like. A similar thing can be said for Crazy Theater, but unlike Ore Express, Whip has a much more defined use. Crazy Theater gives you a task and tasks you at being the only one to finish it. Multiple people can win individual rounds, of course, but since you want to win, or at least I hope you want to win, you need to ensure that as few people win as possible. Again, any ability can work for this, but Whip is the best one because it's got that command grab. It works on other Kirbys too. You can either whip to grab them and then hurl them away, or you can grab them with the charge attack, go yeehaw, and then hurl them away while also hurling at other Kirbys. You got your options here. Either way, Whip gets the job done best, but in theory, it's not necessary. To briefly talk about the modes that don't matter so much, Whip still gets the job done great in basically every mode that's not the battle arena. Nothing is beating Sword there in a single player aspect, but there are many times during the run where you need to use one ability for multiple modes, and Whip is really great for all of them. In Rocket Rumble, you basically want nobody to launch into the sky, and you can only launch with the minimum fuel necessary. Whip can do a great job of keeping opponents occupied and fuel away from them. Like I said before, for modes like this, it doesn't matter what ability you use, so this does nothing for Whip, but the fact that it's at least good enough for all of them is very nice. It also means that if you have a section where you have to do multiple of the battle modes at once, so long as the battle arena isn't there, you are safe to pick Whip. Still, kind of the vibes that I'm getting so far is that Whip is good, but it isn't exceptional because Sword is still either good enough, equal, or better compared to everything that Whip can do. None of these games are really great for Whip. Flagball though, yeah, this one's just the Whip show all around. Using Sword here, or any other ability for that matter, just doesn't work as well. See, the goal of Flagball is to grab the ball and dunk it into your flag. If it helps, you can also grab your flag and keep it away from the opponents. Most broken of all, if an enemy has a ball, grabbing will also bring the ball to you. And hopefully the way I am enunciating a certain word is grabbing your attention, but if not, I'll spell it out for you. Whip here is very good because it has a cool hat. The distances that Whip can reach with that grab are just unfair. I'd argue, in a single player context of course, it's even more unfair than what Sword pulls out in the battle arena. At least there, it's mostly just the AI being bad. Here, you legit need a good counter strategy to get past what Whip can do. It's something that a simple AI in a game meant to be clearable by a child simply can't handle. And every time, no matter what, it just works. Even in the final day-to-day fight that makes you play Flagball, the one before the battle arena fight, before Day-to-Day Destroyer Z, Day-to-Day really doesn't give up here, it's an absolute joke. And I like jokes, funny ones at least. I'd say this one's really funny. The extra kicker is that you don't get to Flagball in the Cake Royale until after you unlock Whip, so you have zero reason to ever use any other ability for Flagball. Ever. Submit to the Whip as the Whip will treat you well. Accept your fate. With the yeehaw! So, yeah, overall, I'd say Whip is really heckin' good. Best in the game? Not quite. Sword still wins out because you actually get to use it all game. Maybe if Whip was better enough than Sword in more modes, and definitely if it was unlocked earlier, maybe I'd be singing a different tune, but a definitive number 2 is still way better than most abilities offer. And unlike Sword, Whip is also really good in a multiplayer setting, but again, different video. For now, I hope you enjoyed, maybe got some good yeehaws out of your system. I'm not much of a cowgirl myself, both in terms of genre and animal, but something about Whip, it just brings that out of me. For now, though, if there is one thing that I love more than Whip, it's my pup trains on Patreon. Sorry for the late pup train shoutout today, just trying something new to see how it works, but I still can't thank those wonderful, wonderful pup trains enough for their support. If you'd like to become a pup train too and support me, check out the link in the description. You get neat perks for it, of course, including early access to videos like this one. Special thanks to my head-patting Fluffle fan pup trains Biohazard, the servo that likes strawberry Pop-Tarts, Lydia Scribe, Vilafar, and remember, Miss K says the 4 best game is super cool and awesome and stuff. I love you all. And of course, as a message to everybody, I have been Klaire. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget about the Battle Royale stream this Saturday, 6 p.m. EST. It's gonna be cool, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.